Hello everyone, welcome to Ilian in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Zayd. Zayd is from London in England, in the UK. So let's see what Zayd has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Zayd, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
hmm
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
Okay. Still it's midday, as you know, so um, I think I have some family coming over and just been relaxing over the holidays, so it's been a good.
So far, tell me what has been the highlight of your holiday season since when it started?
I think just spending time with family, um, and having a little break from work. We've been most nights watching movies or playing games together, so that's been fun.
Tell me where you're from, Zayd.
I am born in London, UK, but my mum is from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, and my dad was also born here, but his family's from Pakistan. So there's a mix of culture there that I've been brought up on, and also get to experience that with the UK culture, I guess.
Absolutely. I think it's amazing to have parents from other places in the world and for you to be able to explore different culture.
hmm
Amazing. And what do you do for work, for living, Zaid?
I am a filmmaker in my free time, and I also do hospitality as work and help out with my dad's family business, which is in Afro hair and beauties, warehouse work and stuff like that. So a mixture of stuff and really just trying to push my career towards the more creative side with filmmaking and
Hmm.
exploring art and things like that.
And what do you like the most about being a filmmaker?
Oh, I think when watching films, I always have the power of like seeing how this was done or trying to analyze why this was done or why this shot was taken. And I really like watching behind the scenes of things as well. So really, when making something myself, the hidden meanings of why a decision was made or why something has been done is why I like to make films. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I think being creative, I think, you always can explore different areas and also find some new ideas as well.
hmm
Amazing. Okay, Zaid, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey, okay?
Yeah.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Like a fun fact, I guess, would be um, I can make a really good like pigeon noise. Um,
Really?
yeah, so I don't mind. I could do it now. Um,
And how did you develop this skill? Amazing.
I don't know if you can call it a skill really, but it was just something fun messing around with friends and doing impressions, and I found out that I was quite good at that one.
Amazing. Zaid, are ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes.
Yes. Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Wonderful questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
hmm
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the interview, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
hmm
Amazing. First question is, good question for you. Which movie had a big influence on you?
Oh, there's multiple choices that I could go with. I think one that really stuck with me is Leon the Professional,
Mhm.
and that was something that I might have watched a bit too young, but my dad brought me into movies, and that was like the first one that had a very strong story and also a relationship between like a father figure and a young daughter, which you didn't get to see much where they weren't actually related, but it was strong to see a child's decisions be changed, and the story that went there was a bit more like hardcore than some of the other things that I watched, like cartoons and stuff like that. So that really got me into wanting to make some films that had more meaning behind it.
Oh, and tell me something. For you, you know, you work in the movie industry. For you, um, your tendency is to watch more, let's say, drama movies, horror movies, you know, adventure, or you have like a gender that for you is like the most, or for you like very, very flexible.
I think strangely enough, I enjoy a lot of comedy movies, but I haven't
Okay.
made so much in that genre myself. I am a producer and I also write as well, and I'm trying to get into casting directing. And most of the stuff I've worked on it has been horror or drama and a little bit of like action sci-fi as well. So I haven't actually explored comedy as much, but it is a very much a genre which can be explored in other genres, and you always have that like playful dynamics and things like that. So, yeah, I think watching wise, it would be comedy mostly, and then filmmaking is has always been like horror or drama to make.
And do you're kind of person that prefer to go to the movies, to the cinema, or you prefer to watch at home?
Definitely going to the theater, the cinema to watch stuff. Like recently, just for Boxing Day, I went to see a movie called Marty Supreme, and that was about a famous ping pong player that and his story of going through determination and ambition and
Mhm.
following his dream. And that was a really good movie, so I do recommend it as well.
Amazing, very good. Actually, I haven't been to the cinema since Christmas time. Actually, I was traveling. I just got back today from Spain, from Madrid, and I'm dying to go to the see a movie because I go every weekend. I go to see a movie in the cinemas, and I'm literally gonna look forward for this weekend to go see a movie for sure.
Yeah, go see Marty Supreme. It's very good.
Have a look for sure. Next question. Let's do it. Okay. Right. Next question for you is: if you were to raise a child, what are the most important things would you like them to learn?
Ooh, that is a good question. I think most important would be mm, trust and loyalty,
Mm.
as well as communication. I have a younger brother who is he's not so young anymore. He's 13, but the age gap between us is 10 years. So,
Wow.
growing up, I have two older sisters as well, and he was the first brother. So, I've always had a sort of older brother look, but also trying to make sure he doesn't stay too much on his games or has an experience outside of things, even though it is a different generation. Um,
Yes.
trying to be outside more, try more things, experience things. So yeah, I think learning the balance of communication there and understanding what he likes as well as what can pursue him in growing up and really uh like experiencing the real world as much as the online world, I guess. But yeah.
Totally.
Mm,
And of course, as you are older than him, I'm sure, you know, you teach him some lessons. He's learning a lot from you, I believe. But also, I'm sure you learn some things from him as well. You always learn from younger people. So tell
yeah.
me something that you've learned from him so far that you go like, you know what? I remember that. I remember this lesson that you've learned from him.
I think maybe just the ability to still be a child, to still have fun. Um, like as well, I'm very much work orientated as well and always on my computer or my phone doing stuff. And he allows me to have that time away as well to sometimes we have a ping pong table in our house as well. So we play ping pong and we play games and stuff like that and spending that time away from devices as much and being able to just bond on what is going on and making silly jokes and things like that and just being childish again has been something good to revisit.
And what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Zayd?
Oh, I think being optimistic and allowing that view of life to push me going forward.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, just being able to see how the glass is always half full and not half empty, I think is what has pushed me to keep going.
And you always been this way? You always have this mindset of being positive?
Um, I would like to think so. I
Hmm.
think growing up, I I had some like hard moments like everyone. Um,
Hmm.
and I think there was a time where I felt a bit emotionally numb. And after the fact of that, it kind of made me want to be around people that I can trust more and have a close like relationship with friends and family and really I'm still working on it as course of just communicating and being able to share how I feel in certain moments and just yeah just working on that of being more positive, but that is pretty much yeah how it's been going.
You cry easily?
I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think. Maybe the last time I cried was a couple years ago, but
Hmm.
every now and then I think a movie here and there might make me feel sad and teary-eyed, but I don't think I have fully cried in a while. So yeah.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, of course, as you mentioned at the beginning of the interview about having parents from different places and also growing up in London, my God, London, where it's a multicultural city where you see languages, you see people, you see culture everywhere. You know, I think it's amazing that. So tell about your experience. For you, did your parents somehow, engaged with you their mother language, or they kind of just let you speak English growing up in London, or walk me through a little bit more about your experience growing up.
hmm I think my parents with me was a bit more free and allowed me to have a bit more space, I guess.
Hmm.
My two older sisters, they learned a bit more like Hindi and Arabic, which is on my dad's side of the family. And sadly myself, I don't know any other language. But we grew up watching a lot of like Bollywood movies as well, so you would pick up
Yeah.
some words. Um, and I think with my mom's side of the family being from Trinidad, it's a lot of like music and culture where we know about like soca music and a lot of good food as well, like doubles and things like that, where
Uh-huh.
my mom would always be cooking and making things that would be from her culture and her country, which we would love the taste of. And so growing up with that is always been very nice to experience. I think growing up as well, uh, for me and my older sisters, we went to a mainly white primary school, so it was maybe not so much experience to talk about these things out loud, but you would still have like the the childhood of growing up as like a British person, I guess, and experience like the nostalgic games or the time away. And I remember growing up, I maybe had one like yeah, one other brown friend in my primary school. And most of my other friends were white or like European. Um, so yeah, the after that fact of going to high school and university, I was able to be more open about like my culture and my experiences where I had a more brown school, I guess, and it, getting to experience different cultures and things like that. So yeah, that's been pretty much my experience so far. I'm hoping to learn some other languages as well, growing up. So yeah.
I see. All right. Okay, next question is, if you had only 24 hours of life, what would you do?
Oh, I think most important would be telling people, my family, my friends, um, and trying to spend that time with them. It doesn't, I don't, I usually try to plan a lot of things, and but I think in this sort of moment, it would be to be spontaneous, and just be with them, and yeah, one bucket list thing would be I want to go skydiving. So I don't
Wow.
know if I would be able to set that up in 24 hours, but um, that would be something I would try to do.
I know you are very young. I know you are just 23, I believe. So, but aging for you, when you think about aging, is something that bothers you or you just see as a matter of life?
I don't think it bothers me. I would say that I think when people say to me that sometimes I speak to people that are turning 24 and they say, "Oh, I'm getting so old," and I see it as that's still very young. Even people turning 30, I think, is quite young still. We have our whole lives ahead of us. Um, and I think for me, I'm still kind of in a drift of life where I'm pursuing what I want and I'm figuring that out. And I think I've given myself a kind of limit of 2 to 3 more years of trying to get stuck in something, um, where it's a difficult thing because I don't like to give myself like a time limit on or a dream, I guess, and but you have to be realistic as well. So yeah, it is something I'm figuring out and really just trying to work out the balance of life and yeah.
Totally. And I think, Zaid, I think you are so young. And as you said, it's very important because you're still navigating through it. You're just still learning to see which path, how things going to get together. And everything comes in the right time. That's how I feel as well. And for you, talking about life, what's the meaning of life for you?
Oh, I don't know if I'll have an answer for this. The meaning of life, I think it could just be to 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 be kind, to
Mhm.
to spread like guidance or advice. I think that we live in a time as well where people tend to not share their small wins as much or to not share like compliments as much. And I think
Mhm.
we, myself as included, is learning that we don't like appreciate it as much because it's not told or not spread out. And I think less people are experiencing that. So it should be something that is worked on where we tell people that we appreciate them, we tell people we love them, and it just, I guess, allows for more kindness and more happiness to be spread.
Amazing. Next question. Ready?
Hmm.
Let's do it. Next one. Next question for you is, what's the soundtrack of your life and why?
um, the soundtrack of my life, I think, would be I would say I don't know a specific song right now, but maybe like a party song by like Pitbull or like Chris Brown or something, which is just like energetic and tries to get you moving. I do like to dance as well. Um, Usually behind hidden doors and not around so many people, but um Yeah, something fun, something uplifting. Yeah.
Tell me three names in the movie industry that you always be inspired by. Like three names that you go like, you know what? Those three names are always gonna be, on top of my list.
hmm Um, I think one to start off would be Jordan Peele.
Okay.
He is a writer director, and he he came off of doing acting work, and he was a comedy actor doing skits and sketches, and now he does like horror movies and other movies, and he's done like Get Out is one of his most like known ones, I think, which it's very cool to see someone have that growth of going from something people might think is quite small, like comedy sketches and stuff and YouTube videos, and then building a whole career out of that and making like well-renowned movies now. Um, and another one I would say is Dev Patel.
Wow.
He is an actor and he is also of British, like brown British descent, and he he came off of a small show from like I think it's BBC or ITV or something. Um, but now he's making films that he even directs and writes himself. And I think I'm not sure I might be getting my facts mixed up, but I remember in a interview or something he might have said the quote of like if someone's not gonna make it for you, you make it yourself. Um,
Wow.
and I think that is something he's doing right now, and it's someone I could look up to and want to aspire to be. Um, and you said someone else. I would go for, I think I should go for a producer because that is the field of work I'm in. Someone called Hiro Murai, and
Okay.
he has done shows of like Atlanta. Um,
Wow.
he's worked on a Bear as well. And he's done like music videos with like Childish Gambino as well. And I think his work usually like going back on something I said earlier, it usually always has like a hidden meaning or a hidden story, even in the way he brings things together. And I think um, it's always powerful, the stuff that he works on, and has like a very important message. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now the question is gonna be a bit tougher now. One day you're gonna wake up in the morning having three missed calls on your phone from those three. You just mentioned right now. Which one you gonna call back straight away? Which one you gonna send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you're not gonna call back, you're not gonna send a message, you're just gonna ignore them for now. Tell me.
Oh, you'll have to ignore someone. Um, I think I would call back straight away, Dev Patel. Um,
Uh-huh.
as a producer, I've always come up with a lot of like film ideas, TV ideas, things like that, and I think someone that is an actor can I can then pursue something that I've created myself.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, filmmaking is a collaborative
Yeah.
process, and there will be a lot of like exchanging of ideas and things like that. But I think him being someone I look up to a lot, it would be amazing to talk to and see if I even had a character for him where that could be made into a film or something. Yeah. And then the other thing is someone I would call back later. Yeah.
You send a message saying that you're gonna call back later.
Uh, I would say Jordan Peele. Yeah. Due to like I love Hiro Murai's work and things, but due to Jordan Peele's like discography of films and everything he's made, I think me wanting to try and to pursue something comedy related as well would
Uh-huh.
be very interesting to see how he implements that into his work, as well as being so heavy on like a drama or a horror. he always has comedy somewhere in his stories. So
Okay, 3 questions left. Let's do it.
yeah.
Hey, next question for you is, oh, this one is very is gonna be very difficult for you to think because you're so young, but let's go. Where do you see yourself living when you retire?
Okay. Um, when I retire, well, I am planning to go to Japan next year.
Oh wow.
Um, that has always been like a bucket list place, and I'm learning like little keywords and things and trying to learn the language. But I think I've always had this conversation with my mum. My top three places to visit would be Japan, Australia, and Hawaii. Um,
Mhm.
and I think if I was to settle down in one of those places, it would be maybe Australia because it is quite I guess the city is a lot like London as well in the UK. So
Mhm.
it wouldn't be so hard to move. Um and I think yeah, from what I know about like Australian films and TVs, it's a lot the same of like I guess sarcastic like tone of how people are and trying to not be so negative living and also just being able to help each other out in a sort of filmmaking we call creative like network. So yeah.
And London, live in London, of course. London people see as a place for opportunities where you can network with so many people, so many artists. Do you think that for you it's a plus having, the opportunity of knowing London, live in London, or do you think sometimes can be a bit difficult because, as you know, there's a lot of artists trying the same, career, a lot of people trying the same path. How do you see that based on your experience?
For myself, it has been very like amazing to find these connections and to network. I've been to a couple networking like
Mm.
events like BAFTA or shooting people and things like this. And it has benefited me a lot. Is the main thing about networking is always like following up and keeping those networks. Which I have been very fortunate of being able to meet someone at a networking thing and then go off to make a film with them. So it has come into fruition, and I think compared to I've had this like conversation with a couple friends of mine, like I think London is one of the main cities of England and it has a lot of connections creatively with art, music, film, and we a lot of people know each other, but I think we tend or the majority of people tend to just stay knowing each other and not really work so much together. And I think compared to maybe America or Europe or somewhere else, they tend to work with each other more. And I hope that maybe that is something that improves in London. And we get to collaborate more and things like that.
I like your point, Zayd. I never thought about that. I always had this impression about London people where they're always networking. But of course, for you to be in this industry, I'm sure you see different and you can see with different eyes, and makes sense. Interesting here for sure. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, before the next one, tell me what for you is the biggest motivation for you to create your short movies, for you to write or get all things together when you are let's say doing your movies, your short movies. What's the big inspiration for them?
I think with every film I make or every piece of art content, I I treat it like a baby, and I tend to try and put my all into it and focus fully on one thing before moving on to the next. And um, with projects like one thing that I recently worked on is called One in Five, and that was a project about men's mental health and suicide
Mhm,
prevention. And that was a friend of mine's like story that he made, and I helped produce and film it. And with the team that we created, it was very motivational to share such an important message. And
mhm,
in the moment of making it, I think when it first came to me, I knew it was a story of two brothers, which pushed me towards wanting to make it to allow myself to be more comfortable with sharing my own story with my brother, and just being sure that this I could make a space which was open between me and my own brother. Um, but then knowing that making a film like that, it was very you sometimes you have to be very careful of how you put yourself out there, and,
mhm.
and telling a story like that is you don't want to sometimes say the wrong thing. And I guess that's also what makes us human because we never know the right thing to say. But um, with the motivation towards that, I learned about it to throughout making the film, and I think I get that a lot with what I create. It always comes with an idea with what I'm making, but I always learn my motivation when making it and what wants to push me further into finishing it. And that was really much the idea of pushing myself to create something that I know would pursue my growth as a not just as a filmmaker but as a human, and being able to understand how I could save someone's life maybe, or how I
Wow,
could be able to motivate someone's life. Because something else with that film is like you always watch films and you try to relate to characters, but with this it wasn't a specific story or a specific person, but much the experience that many people face. So
yeah.
yeah, I think to answer the question, the motivation towards it is always found during the making of it, and for something like that, it was growth as a filmmaker, as a learning from the project itself. So yeah.
Wow. That's great, Zaid. I think it's important for you to do something that's just it does not just it mean it's not about me. Of course, the meaning behind, but also helping others and knowing that people they can relate to you because, as you know, nowadays mental health topic it's very big, it's very huge, and I think people like you when they create a project where they can somehow help others, I think it's a great place to be. Amazing, great. Okay, next question is what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
Mm. The first one, what can make me cry? I guess it would be loss, or like losing someone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my family is the most important thing to me, so if anything happened to them, more, that would be the most hurtful thing, I think. Um, and what could make me happy would be, um, just, I guess, the experience of life of spending time with people more, friends, even strangers, and learning things about people that you may not know or experience from the
Yeah.
first time, and that sort of surprise, or uh, being able to explore mystery is kind of something where we get to get like a uplifting like spirit of some sort. And yeah, I think that is something that makes me happy.
Tell me a person in your life that for you, when you feel the lowest for some reason, you know, it comes to your mind for you to share it or for you to get some comfort. And also, tell me the same person that for you, when you feel the happiest, this person comes to your life. That for you, you just want to share that moment. There's someone?
I think the The happy one would be my younger brother,
Uh-huh.
which I don't know if I mentioned, but funny enough, my name is Zayd, and then his name is Zayden.
Ah,
So
see.
it came to a time where my mom didn't know what to name him, and then just added two more letters. Um, but yeah, I think he's like a mini me in a way, and I think
Um,
I want to make sure that it's such a hard thing because it's not like it's not parenting, but it kind of is just guiding him in a way, and I
yeah.
don't want him to fall in the same steps that I did. But then I guess whatever steps I did fall in allowed me to learn from that and then build from that. Um, and I think whenever I spend time with him, we may have disagreements here and there, but it's always such a happy moment of me wanting to guide him in his progress of growing up and things like that. Um, and then on the other side, the person of like a sad experience, I think would be my grandma. She passed away a couple of years ago, and that was someone that out of my grandparents, she was the only person that I got to experience when I was younger. So um, that was someone that I went back to Trinidad. I got to be there and uh, be in her house and experience her cooking and be with her and play games and things like this. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, it's something that I will always remember and something that is now a sad memory in a way because you won't be able to share that with anyone else in yeah.
Do you think one day you're gonna meet her again?
Yeah, I do believe in that. Like one day we'll all be somewhere where we'll be together and that will be good.
Oh, yeah, I think our connection with our grandparents, there is something special about it. Of course, we love our siblings, we will love our parents, our relatives, but the grandparents, there's something about their connection that is unique, as you know very well. Great. Last question. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last one. Okay, but before the last question, tell me a moment since you start, creating movies in the movie industry. Tell me a moment or a situation that for you you're gonna go like, you know what? So far, this moment's always gonna have a special place in my heart.
Ooh, I think this is kind of like a two-parter for me. A moment would be when I went to university to study digital film production. I It was a strange like experience at first because I was the first one to go to university. Um, but I managed to build a very good group of friends with three other guys, and we made a production company, and we managed to just make what we felt was fun and make films and short films and things like this. And meeting them, we got to learn a little bit more of what we wanted out of the industry and the career, and the the experience of that was a, a very fulfilling moment. And something that we did create was a film where we all had a film where we wanted to make, and one of the films that I made was called Phil, and it was
Mhm.
about what if you could buy self-love. And Phil was this person who this like middle-aged white man that came into this young girl's life, and it was like a surreal and strange and funny thing where this person, if you bought them, then they could help you out. And it was something at the time where the film I look back on, it's not the best film, and it's something I made in university, but I was very proud of that and that I completed it and went through with it, and I was able to write, direct, produce that, and
Wow.
make something that is still on YouTube, and I can go back to watch and see where I've come from that and what I've learned from that.
Wow. And do you act as well, Zayd, or not? You're just behind the camera.
I am mainly behind the camera. I have done a couple like extra things to help out on friends' short films and here and there. Um, and recently I was on like a Channel 4 YouTube video, which I always love to just put myself out there and try something that I haven't done before. So yeah,
Good.
that was like an experience. I don't usually be in front of the camera, but yeah, it's mainly behind.
I see. Okay. Last question is, oh, nice question. What does love mean to you?
Hmm. Love means to me the the warmth and the happiness of like being with someone and experiencing and sharing moments where something that you could remember for a lifetime.
Wow.
Um, yeah.
Wow. Do you believe that happiness is a choice?
Yes. Yes and no. I think we sometimes it is something that we feel and we might not have control over,
Uh-huh.
but I think at the same times the decisions you make or the behaviors you might have will allow you to achieve that.
I see. Amazing. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money,
Want,
fear,
unknown,
family,
love,
life,
working on it,
okay? Love,
mm, experience,
religion,
um, difficult,
sex,
intercourse,
politics,
ruined,
friendship,
strong,
desire,
uh, dream,
regret,
none,
success,
growth,
wish.
genie.
I'm a genie in the bottle. Dun, dun, dun. Happiness.
Happy New Year. Um, I'll go for holiday.
One word for London.
Mm, diverse,
One word for producer.
orientated.
Um, and one word for filmmaker.
It might be boring, but creative.
Actually, if you could define 2025 in one word, what that would be?
Ooh, I think I would say 2025 in one word. Roller coaster.
Good one. Good one. Let's play now, Zayd in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, before you ask me the question, let's pretend now that I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Zayd in one positive and one negative word only. What your best friend would say about you.
Um, I think he would say, I think he would say w- weird as the good one.
Uh,
Um, and then the negative words might be overthinker.
Interesting. I think it feels so great to be weird, don't you think? I love being weird. I think it's great. It's amazing. It's a gift, as I say. I think when you are able to be just yourself, different, and when people look at you, you go like, you know what, there's no one else like you. I think it's amazing. I know sometimes it can be tricky and tough. However, it's a gift when you embrace it and you go like, you know what, I'm a weirdo. I'm different, and it feels great.
Yeah, like that is kind of the origin story behind my username being Crazy Zayd
Uh,
is a nickname that I got like in primary and high school where I would just do such weird things and
I love it.
dares and stuff that people called me crazy, and then I just stuck to it. So
No, it's amazing because when you are younger, you don't understand much. You know what I mean? I remember when I was younger, colleagues, they were calling me, "Oh, you're very weird," but not a nice way, in a very funny way. But I wasn't sure. I could understand much. Nowadays, I go like, "Oh my God!" Now they're so right, about it, and it feels great when you embrace it. So I get your point. Okay, Zaid, you can ask me a question now.
I actually to remember I wrote this down. Um, what do you want to be remembered for?
Wow, that's a great question. That's a great question. Wow. It's a good question actually for this time of the year when you are doing a reflection about the year that's just finishing and something just starting now. I'd like people to think as, when I would like to be remembered in life, just related to just talked right now. Someone that with no, I was literally someone that I was myself 100%, literally. Someone that when they think about William, they go like, you know what, he was himself. Even though when sometimes making mistakes or being different or weird or sometimes, not always happy or not always the greatest. However, the signature that I would like to leave in the world for me when people think about William is he was himself. He was literally trying to be a better person every day. He was navigating through life, facing the mistakes, facing the negativity, facing the positivity, the challenges that comes all the time. And I think just want people to see, to look at me, go like, okay, he wasn't right or wrong. He was just navigating through life, expressing the way he was, trying to be a better person every single day. And I think it's amazing when you get to this point in your life when you just want to be yourself and be a good person and knowing that you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna do right, you're gonna do wrong, you're gonna learn, you're gonna feel challenged. But the main thing for me, I just want people to remember that I was myself. I was literally following my intuition, follow my spirit, something that was me, that I couldn't go against it. So I think that's something that I would love always people to remember, about me is about that he was himself or trying the most of the best that he could be. His truly self and authentic. That's for me, it's the meaning of success when you can be your authentic self because there's no other one. There was not no other Zayd, there was no other William. There's always something unique about ourselves that is unique and different. And I think that we need to embrace all the time. And I'd like people to remember that I was embracing myself the most I could. Great question. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a perfect answer as well. Great.
amazing. Thanks so much, Zayd. Did you enjoy the interview?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Thanks again. I love to see passionate people like very young. My God, you're so young and have this mindset about creating your movies, not just that, but helping others as well. I think it's amazing for us to be able to follow our dreams, follow our path. At the same time, as well, remember that we could do something about, as you said, about mental health, that you could touch other people's life and somehow helping others as well. So carry on, carry on. You're in the right place, you're in the right path, and I think it's amazing for you to be able to follow your dreams. Never stop. Okay,
Yeah, thank you. I think as well with what you're doing with William and the Magic Box has been amazing as well, and you
thank
being able to have conversations with all different types of people has
you. Yeah,
been very like I guess educational as well, but also you're getting to experience different cultures and different stories and seeing how people are across the world. So it's really good.
amazing. Before you go, Zaid, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah, I have a quote which I remember as "be water," but the full quote probably makes more sense. It's called Empty Your Mind, Be Formless, Shapeless like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. You put water into a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. And that is a quote from Bruce Lee. Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so that has been from watching movies and things from young. My dad brought me up on kung fu and the Chinese martial arts, and Bruce Lee was one of those people that I saw very early on. So that has been something that has pushed me for throughout life.
Wow. I love the quote. I never heard that as well before. So amazing. Just made my day now. I learned something new. I love that. I think it's amazing. Very positive for sure. Thanks again. Happy New Year for you. I just wish all the best for you, for your family and friends, and keep in touch. Okay. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
happy New Year and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Take care. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.